So here, 10 years for saving a girl's life. Hacker jailed after exposing hospital for a medical kidnapping. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to comment as we roll along, so I'll be stopping this, so don't get pissed off, because I know a lot of you get butthurt real easy. I mean, just looking to fucking be butthurt about anything, people spelling or their grammar. Why can't you just listen to the fucking message and pay attention to what somebody's actually trying to say instead of listening to fucking respond? Why don't you listen to understand before you reply?
Dear RT audience, I need your help because the U.S. Department of Justice is imprisoning me in retaliation for my human rights work and my journalism. The corrupt judge gave me 10 years for saving a young girl's life. Now the DOJ wants to put me in a communications management unit where they can restrict my journalism and stop the truth from getting out. I'm hoping that you'll hear me, and that many, many people will petition their U.S. ambassador to stop the lies, protect the kids, and stop the DOJ. Many thanks, G.
So, think about this, ladies and gentlemen. You live in a country that boasts and brags about freedom, literally brags about it, beats the streets with it, when we have more socialistic and communistic programs in America that create tyranny. First of all, when did the world become that you're exposing wrongs, that you get in trouble because you're exposing wrongs? If this was a just country and it was a good country, this gentleman, this young man, we wouldn't even be having a discussion about this right now. Nor would there be a news casting about it at all from anybody. What we have is a communist, let's call it a soft tyranny at this point right now. Because the road that we're leading on, ladies and gentlemen, and these are privy right now. These are just showing you what's to come. If we don't stop our political people, which are the very ones to blame for creating the laws and this conduct. And what are these people afraid of? If they weren't doing anything wrong like that they say, then they wouldn't do nothing to this guy. Why is this guy getting in trouble? Because he exposed wrongs. This is what, and then the government shows how evil the government is, because they're prosecuting him instead of doing an investigation on what he was talking about and what he was trying to expose. So tell me, keep boasting how much freedom we have. Keep bragging about it when you don't. You're living in a fucking dream world. Yeah. I'm telling you, this is ultimately wrong, what happened.
In 2013, Gottersfeld hacked the Boston hospital network to help the Connecticut teenager Justina Pelletier. Pelletier had been taken into state custody in Massachusetts after a dispute over her diagnosis arose between her parents and the hospital. Here's a quick recap of the whole story.
Let me go home right now. I need to be home with my family.
Breaks your fucking heart.
She has been totally medically abused. Finally, common sense prevailed.
Shouldn't have even had to go through it. Communist country.
I just don't know.
That's a form of communism.
This really happened, because it doesn't feel like
tyranny.
It's real. It feels so good to be home. people, so it was hard and tough, so I don't want anyone else to be put through the same thing I got put through.
Thank you, justice system.
In January 2019, Martin Gottersfeld was found guilty of cyber attacks. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. Moreover, he was ordered to pay $443,000 in damages. He was jailed at the start of this year, though he'd been in custody since February 2016. Martin is now being held at a detention centre normally reserved for terrorists, where his contacts with the outer world are fully monitored. He claims that his right to perform his journalist activities are under threat. His wife Dana says the conditions he's held in now violate his basic human rights.
Here, I'll tell you something. Everybody is a journalist. If you're witnessing, you're seeing something, you're experiencing something, you are a witness to it, okay? And he obviously was witnessing a crime, an injustice, or wrongdoing, whatever we could call it. Might as well put it that way in this butthurt world society today. Whatever you want to call it, okay? The problem is nobody wanted to investigate what he was talking about. They want to protect these people, the people that are doing this. Ha! And think about this. When did the government have the authority to tell you what you can and can't do with your life? Really? That's between you and yourself and whoever up in the visible sky, the man up there, or whatever. If you want to fucking terminate your life, that's up to you. The government has no say-so. They're a third party. They have no say-so. It's just like, we're here in lieu of we the people. And you go bang on everybody's door on that block or around that town, and they'll tell you they never gave them consent to do that. Okay? They take it upon themselves that they have the consent due to the fact that they are serving the people. This is why that they also created diplomatic or servant immunity, so that whatever actions that they do, they can't get in trouble for them. They cannot be held accountable for their actions. This is why you rarely, ever, except for special incidences, that you'll see anybody in the system that works for the system actually go to prison for a long-term sentence. That's why you don't see it. And this is why every time that you see something out in front of the public about one of these political hacks or servants, it's just a show, man. That's why they never go to prison, rarely go to prison. How many times do the police go to prison? Very rarely, because they have that immunity, because they aren't held accountable for their actions, because they are just a servant. I'm just obeying orders. I'm just following my command, the chain of command. This is why that in humanity, a lot of people ain't gonna like this, but the order followers are the most dangerous ones out there, because they will do without question. And the problem we have here is this guy was exposing an injustice. And then they're going to get him for terrorist acts. Do you see where all this is leading, ladies and gentlemen, in this country, and what it's doing and where our country is heading with this kind of mindset? The results are going to be disastrous. And they're going to be very, very crazy, because it's becoming a clown, crazy world right now. And the worst people we have are the ones in power. Yes, the elected officials and the ones that are sitting in state and city governments. Because insanity has taken full control of the ship, the helm, Yes, I was afraid of this years ago, that this was going to happen, that the crazies, the full-blown crazies were going to get in there and be the dominant force within control. And it is true. It is very true that that has happened in the last 35 to 40 years, or maybe even a little better. But in my time frame, 50 plus years, that's what I've noticed though. And I've lived long enough that I've also been paying attention to this since I was a teenager, witnessing it. I see what's happening all around us. And also they're bringing in people that hate us, and that outcome's not going to be good either. I mean, they're not going to assimilate and start to, oh yeah, we like you guys. Really? We like you guys. You're the same very people that joined our militaries, that went over and bombed and murdered our people in these countries. Then you bring us here and you expect us to like you? How gullible are the Americans? Very gullible. Very gullible. It's like in Minnesota, back, 16 years, 17, 18 years ago, they brought like almost 100,000 Somalians. That's why you got Omar in there right now. Because there's enough of them that they can vote her in. Do you see where this is going, ladies and gentlemen? Don't you get it? You're being taken over from all angles. And you still don't get it. And you're not stopping it. And you're voting in, you keep voting in people. Really. I'm telling you, I'll tell this until I'm dead. You ain't going to vote in people that's going to fix this, because it can't be fixed by voting. It can't be fixed from within. And I'm not advocating violence. I'm just telling you where it can't be fixed. How you're going to fix it, Americans, that's up to you guys. Not up to me. I'm not going to claim what you should and shouldn't do. I'm just pointing out what's happening. And if you guys don't get a grip on it, you ain't going to be able to get a grip on it. It's got to happen sooner than later. It has to happen before you're put in a corner and you can't do nothing about it. How are you going to do it? I have no idea. It's beyond me. But maybe there's somebody smart enough that realizes how they can tactfully approach this and make it happen. And how they're going to get the people to be organized. Because I'll tell you what, Americans aren't organized. And all of these people, they're organized. That's why they're getting their way, people. And this is why that they're prevailing. And you wonder why Americans not? Well, because you're not. You're just not doing nothing about it. It's a sad freaking reality. And I used this thing right here about as a platform because this is a sign. This is a warning. It's warning you what's going on with this guy, what happened to him, for exposing truths of wrongs, of things that are happening to people. And look, the family had no legal rights to do anything because the big bad wolf, the government, just snatches up, makes people, forces them. And if you try to do anything about it, you're going to either get caged or you're going to get killed. This is their conduct. And you can't tell me that's not communist. You can't tell me that form of conduct isn't tyranny. And we're living in it and we keep fucking ignoring it. We keep turning our heads to somewhere else because we don't want to deal with it. And that's another problem. You're going to look, either deal with it or you're going to deal with it. And when you have to deal with it, when you're forced to deal with it, you're still going to be a loser. So right now is the time. Is in the present. Yesterday's gone, and tomorrow ain't here, people. And there's no guarantee that there's another day. Your only time every day is in the present moment. There is no future, okay? The future is what you make in the present moment. And then tomorrow you look back to yesterday and there's your history. Nothing is predetermined If you think so, you're silly in the head. It's all about what you make. And these people, they've got you to believe what I just said, that the future is predetermined, because they're creating it while you're sitting on your asses doing nothing about what they predetermined and made happen. Okay? They're making it happen. That's why they're getting their way. They're prevailing. While you sit there in a dream world, you sit there and think that somebody actually has your back and they're going to fucking protect it. Nope. That's why you see what you see, because you're not protecting your own back. Needless to say, I'm not going to finish this video because I started rambling on with some more truths. But the fact of the matter, this guy shouldn't have had to go through what he went through. And you can listen to the whole video down below. I'm going to put it below. You just find it down there. You'll see it. So anyways, these things right here, these little news clips and everything, they should be a tall tale warning of what's happening. The ills and the effects of America, what's going down. And this conduct shouldn't even, like I said, it shouldn't even be a discussion, because it shouldn't have happened. What should have happened is that guy should have got patted on the back. Those people at the hospital and in the government should have been arrested for not doing their job, or whatever you want to call it again, because obviously something was seriously going on for this to be even a news event. And I highly doubt it was the guy that is arrested, has been being detained, and now is going to have 10 years in prison, is the bad guy. So, keep trusting the beast, because we have a beast right now. It don't need to be killed, but it needs to be tamed. It needs to be put in its place and let it know where it's supposed to stay. And until then, the chaos is going to continue. It's going to get worse, and it's going to multiply tenfold if something doesn't happen in the present moments. Tomorrow is always going to be too late for today. Remember that. Tomorrow is always going to be too late for today when you can take action today. Whatever is going to happen tomorrow is going to happen. You make plans just like them. Stop this ridiculousness, waiting for somebody to fix it for us. Remember, they ain't nothing without us. And they're more afraid we gather together. They're afraid of that. They're afraid that we're going to get together, because they know what can happen. And I truly believe Americans are actually going to wake up and start smelling the coffee that they in the morning that they should, and turn that TV off and start making plans. Guys, you either got to take control or not. It's going to change with or without you, and you better be the change. That's all I'm going to say, because they're changing it, and you're just sitting there as an audience wondering why is it happening, wondering why no one is doing a damn thing about it. There you go. I'm signing off. Later.